This is what the back side looks like. There is the Elgato HD 60S Plus. There is the Philips HDMI switcher. There is the composite to HDMI converter. And that is the lamp that I bought from Elgato for extra lighting that I have ended up not really using at this point. And I'll turn the light facing the other way because I figured out that I couldn't get enough light behind the computer. This is the USB 3.0 hub. It has a power cord for external power. This is the USB 2.0 hub, and it doesn't have an external power source. This is my new gaming laptop that I use for streaming. It is a HP Pavilion. There it is. And I like it. It works very good. Now, we have the remote to the HDMI switcher, the remote to the TV, and the remote to the PS5. PS5 headphones, which are plugged in, they're probably charged by now, and the PS5 camera that I haven't even tried to use yet. And these are other things. This is an external USB drive, and these are two USB sticks that I have had for a long time. And this is the charger for the batteries to this GoPro. Anyway, now to get down here. There is my PS5. There is my PS4. It's a slim model. And a PS2 Slim. And these are Logitech wireless controllers. They run on 2 AA batteries each. And then for the top of it all, there is my LG 49-inch QLED high definition 4K television. Hi everybody. I made that video with my GoPro camera, and there's more I wanted to say and point out that I didn't feel like just sitting on one particular frame for 5 minutes while I talked. So I decided to make another piece of video using the camera on my computer, and I'll just say what it is that I wanted to say. You noticed the mishmash of cables behind the TV. It is primarily due to the fact that none of those cables is shorter than 4 feet. And as you noticed, those units are close enough together that I could get away with 6-inch cables between them. A 6-inch cable between the composite HDMI adapter and the HDMI switcher, a 6-inch cable between the HDMI switcher and the Elgato, and a 6-inch HDMI cable between the Elgato and the TV. And that would make things a lot neater back there. I can get 6 and 7-inch cables, but I have not felt like I want to bother with buying things online right now because I've had my fill of shipping nightmares in the last month. So I'm waiting on that. I've got something that works. I had to buy these cables at the local Walmart. Well, I didn't have to buy them there, but it wouldn't have mattered where I bought them. In the stores, you can't get anything less than 4 feet here. So if you want anything shorter than 4 feet, you have to order it online. So for that reason, I am just making do with what I have and not worrying about the rest. On the USB 3.0 hub, I don't know why it requires an external power source. If anybody that watches this video has a clue as to why it would require an external power source when the USB 2.0 port does not, or 2.0 hub does not, I would appreciate a comment telling me why. Additionally, I also have the computer connected to the wireless router via a RJ45 cable, what they call a Cat5e, Category 5e Ethernet cable. And that way I can be assured that I'm going to have the fastest possible speed when it comes to streaming. I don't have to worry about fluctuations because of the wireless. I have not done it yet, but I will be getting Cat5e cables to run from the PS5 and the PS4 to the wireless router so that they too won't be dependent on a wireless signal. But I haven't done that yet either, and so far I haven't had any problems with it. What else was there? Oh yeah, on the TV, there is a connector on the back that says it's for audio video input. My understanding from LG is that you buy a cable that converts from composite to this. It's basically the same kind of connector that your combination mic and headphone uses plugging into your computer. It's a 1/4-inch plug with 3 bands, one for left, one for right, one for mic input. A mic input obviously being mono. It uses the same style of connector, but what it's basically supposed to do is convert, depending on which one you're using, composite video and left and right audio, or component, red, green, and blue, and audio left and right into that one little converter plug. But I've never been able to get that work. And since I couldn't get it to work, I decided that it would probably be better if I went through an HDMI converter, because that way I would still be able to play my PS2 and stream the videos. With the other connection, there was no way I was going to be able to do that. So I like the HDMI connection better because I can stream my PS2. And that's nice. I like that. On the consoles and the controllers, the PS5 has the PS5 controller charger that allows you to charge 2 controllers at the same time. The PS4 did not have such a thing, and I ended up buying an aftermarket version. And the biggest difference between them is that the PS5 controllers just sit on the charger. They're not plugged into it. They just sit on it. On the PS4, there is a USB-C port. I believe it's USB-C. Might not be, but it might be. On the side of the controller that's between the handles, when you're holding it, it faces you, that plugs in to the charger station. So it's got 2 of those, one for each of the 2 controllers. But that means that when you put it on there to charge, you have to actually wiggle it down onto the connector, and when you go to take it off and play, you have to wiggle it up off the connector. It's not like the PS5 where you can just grab it. And when you're putting it down, all you got to do is make sure that it's sitting the way it's supposed to. For the PS2 I bought off of eBay, and it came with both of these controllers. They are Logitech PS2, what do they call those? I can't remember what PS2 calls their controllers. But anyway, it's those controllers. They have the vibration mode in them. But they're both wireless, and they run on 2 AA batteries each. And they work fairly good, but I expect it's because they are a little old, but I don't know what the explanation is for the PS4 controllers, but I've already started experiencing drift in the PS4 controllers, and I haven't had the PS4 a year yet. It's almost a year, but not quite a year. The PS2 I've owned a little bit longer than I've owned the PS4. But in both cases, I don't think I should be experiencing drift in the controllers already. I mean, it's not like I play the same console every day for 6 months. I switch back and forth between them. Currently, I'm playing Final Fantasy XII on the PS2, and then I'm playing the PS5 updated version of The Last of Us Part 2 on the PS5. And the PS4 I haven't actually played in a short while, but I will be playing it again soon because I'm going to stream the game Soma in its entirety. It only takes about 9 hours for me to complete the game. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to stream it, and I'll be using my PS4 to do that. Since I am going back and forth between the controllers and the consoles, I don't think I should be experiencing drift in any of them yet. And I'm very thankful I'm not experiencing any drift in the PS5 controllers. And I'm thankful that the drift in the PS4 controllers is really bad in one and not so bad in the other. And in the PS2, the one controller, the drift is so bad I can't even use it, and the other controller works just fine. So I know it's probably a matter of taking the controllers apart and trying to clean them, but I'm 66 years old. I've never been very proficient with hardware because I was trying to learn television repair when I was a teenager. I was 15 at the time. Due to an incident that took place then, I can't even think about trying to work on a piece of electronics without my hand shaking really bad. I don't want to damage my controllers. I don't want to damage my consoles. So I'm not really willing to work on them myself. And I don't have enough money to send them off somewhere to be repaired. But obviously, at some point, I'm going to have to, or I'm going to have to go buy another controller. And that can get pretty expensive pretty quick, especially when you think about the fact that a lot of times cleaning and recalibrating the controller is all it needs. But I need somebody else to do that for me, so until I can get to where there is somebody to do that for me, I'll just keep using them the way they are. The main point of this video was that I wanted people to see how my setup is, so that if people want to know what works, this is what works for me. And I have zero problems with it. That said, there is a caveat. Elgato will tell you that the HD60S Plus is not compatible with that Philips HDMI switcher or with the US 3.0 hub. And the reason they will tell you that is because it won't work with every switcher out there, and it won't work with every 3.0 hub out there. So you're taking your chances depending on which ones you have. The switcher I have is a Philips model. The 3.0 hub I have is, and I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce this, it's an ON model, and ON is spelled O-N-N. And so far I've had nothing but good experience with both of those hubs. They're both ON models. I've had nothing but success with the composite to HDMI converter is also an ON model, and the switcher is a Philips model. The switcher I got from Target, and the HDMI to, or composite to HDMI converter, and the USB 2.0 and 3.0 hubs I got from Walmart at my local Walmart store. And most of the cables, not all of them, but most of the HDMI cables I have were also purchased at Walmart. The 6-inch and 7-inch versions that I would like to get, I can order offline through Walmart. You know, Walmart does sell them, but I don't want to deal with shipping for a while. I've had a lot of shipping nightmares, and I really don't want to deal with it. But if you want to get those shorter cables, if you feel it would be advantageous to your setup and help you have a neater arrangement behind your television, then look at Walmart.com. They've got them. I'm not sure if they're 6-inch or 7-inch. They might be either or both. But I would definitely look into them if 6 and 7-inch HDMI cables will work for you. Just make sure that you get HDMI 2 cables, because HDMI 1 doesn't work very well with a PS2, or excuse me, a PS4 or a PS5, and doesn't work very well with a QLED or OLED TV. HDMI 2.1 is probably the best way you can go with that. Same with the Elgato. They tell you that you should be using HDMI 2.1, at least for the HD 60S Plus. So I would suggest going that route. One other thing, the 60S Plus, I believe, is not 4K compatible. I know I've got the software that's 4K camera utility or capture utility, and it works with the 60S Plus, but I don't know if the 60S Plus actually will actually use 4K video and transmit it to your streaming device. Don't know. I haven't looked into it that much. I'm not unhappy with 1080p, and the PS5 is doing a lot of things at 60 FPS. So if I get 720p 60 or 1080p 60, I'm happy. I know that what I see on my TV is definitely better than 1080p. So I'm assuming it's a 4K television. But I need to look at the specs again because it's been a while. But I do remember when I bought it, one of the key factors was that it was 4K capable. So that's what it is. Anyway, I've gone way too long into this video. It's almost 16 minutes long on this part, and the other part is about 2 minutes. So if you've made it this far through the video, congratulations. I'm glad you didn't consider it TLDR or TLDL, too long didn't listen, or TLDW, too long didn't watch. You know, I hope people will watch this video. It's for the purpose of helping people that are trying to figure out what setup will work, to know what setup I have and how it works for me. And for me, this setup is working flawlessly. I'm having no problems with it whatsoever. On the internet, I am paying for 400 Mbps, and I'm getting about 360 or 370 through the Wi-Fi. So, and you need to make sure that you have a gigabit port for your wireless connection to your streaming device. If it's your computer or a laptop or whatever it is, you've got to have a gigabit port. And I would highly recommend connecting directly via cable instead of relying on wireless for streaming. So that's it. I'm going to end this here. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.